Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, as we all know, ISIS puts a lot of effort into recruiting online, and one of the ways that they do that is by putting up videos of themselves committing atrocities. Mass executions, beheadings, even burning people to death. And our government and lots of other governments are worried about this and want to try to combat their recruitment efforts. Now, the impression that has been built up about ISIS is that they are some kind of implacable and unstoppable fighting force, and that we should all be terrified. But like much of what comes from our news these days, a lot of it is overhyped. In Syria, for example, ISIS was very careful about who they fought. They never actually went after Assad's troops. They simply went after the areas held by the weakest rebel groups. In other areas, they just negotiated partnerships with stronger rebel groups. When they went into Iraq, they faced no resistance at all. Nouri al-Maliki had simply eviscerated the Iraqi army. He had replaced officers who knew what they were doing with political hacks. And so the soldiers didn't trust their leadership, were completely demoralized, and when ISIS came calling, even though they outnumbered them by a whole lot, the soldiers just took off their uniforms and ran. And the Sunni Muslims who controlled those areas weren't about to fight for the Maliki government because they were being treated very badly by him. So ISIS was able to roll almost all the way to Baghdad without really doing much fighting. As soon as they were confronted by any resistance by Shiite militias, they were stopped. So ISIS really hasn't proved themselves as a fighting force. The Kurdish Peshmerga fighters pretty easily kept them out of their territory and drove them away from the Mosul dam, which they controlled for a very brief period. In the Syrian town of Kobani, near the Turkish border, as soon as the Peshmerga were allowed in by the Turkish government, they sent ISIS packing. And now, the city of Tikrit, Saddam Hussein's old hometown, which was occupied by ISIS, has been taken back by the Iraqi government with the assistance of our airstrikes and Iranian forces and reconstituted elements of the Iraqi army, and of course the Shiite militias. Sometime in the next few months, they'll be going after Mosul. Right now, Mosul is surrounded by those same combination of forces, and they're being bombed every day by us and other coalition aircraft. So they're cut off. They can't be supplied. They can't be. They can't receive reinforcements. They're in a lot of trouble up there. So this image of ISIS as some kind of great fighting force is completely untrue. It's the furthest thing from the truth. But ISIS is still having some success with its recruitment efforts. And our government and other governments are very concerned about stopping it. Here's my advice. Don't. I mean, think about it. Think about the people that want to join ISIS or any other terrorist group. What kind of people are they? They watch these videos of ISIS committing atrocities and think it's cool. They're not repulsed by beheadings and mass executions. They want to get in on the action. So this is an opportunity to get rid of a lot of people who really don't have any place in our society. Let them go. Let them join ISIS. Let them join whatever other terrorist group they want to do. Just cancel their passport so they can't get back. I mean, these are the absolute dregs of our society. They're the worst people we could possibly have. If we let them stay here, even if there weren't any terrorist groups, they'd still wind up being some kind of serial killers or something like that. So let them go, cancel their passports, and bring on the drones. Thanks for listening.